Sasanian Iberia, Georgian, Sasanuri Kartli, known in Middle Persian sources as Wirōzān/Wiručān, refers to the period the Kingdom of Iberia, Kartli, eastern Georgia, was under the suzerainty of the Sasanian Empire. The period includes when it was ruled by Marzbans, governors, appointed by the Sasanid Iranian king, and later through the Principality of Iberia. The Georgian kingdoms were contested between the Sasanids and the neighboring rivaling Roman Byzantine Empire ever since the 3rd century. Over the span of the next hundreds of years, both the Byzantines and the Sasanids managed to establish hegemony over these regions. At the few remaining times, the Georgian kings managed to retain their autonomy. Sasanian governance was established for the first time early on in the Sasanian era, during the reign of King Shapur R. 240–270. In 284, the Sasanians secured the Iberian throne for an Iranian prince from the house of Miran, subsequently known by his dynastic name Miran III. Miran III became thus the first head of this branch of the Miranid family in the Kingdom of Iberia, known as the Khosrowid dynasty, otherwise known as the Iberian Miranids, or Miranids of Iberia, whose members would rule Iberia into the 6th century. In 363, Sasanian suzerainty was restored by King Shapur II, R. 309–379, when he invaded Iberia and installed Aspacuras II as his vassal on the Iberian throne. The continuing rivalry between Byzantium and Sasanian Persia for supremacy in the Caucasus, and the unsuccessful insurrection, 523, of the Georgians under Georgian had severe consequences for the country. Thereafter, the king of Iberia had only nominal power, while the country was effectively ruled by the Persians. By the time of Vezin Buzmir's tenure as Marzban of Iberia, the hagiographies of the period implied that the kings in Tbilisi had only the status of Mamasaklasi, which means head of the royal house. When Bakur III died in 580, the Sasanid government of Persia under Hormuzd IV, 578–590, seized on the opportunity to abolish the Iberian monarchy. Iberia became a Persian province, administrated through its direct rule by appointed Marzbans, which in fact was, as Professor Donald Rayfield states, a de jure continuation of de facto abolition of Iberian kingship since the 520s. The Iberian nobles acquiesced to this change without resistance, while the heirs of the royal house withdrew to their highland fortresses, the main Khosrowid line in Kakheti, and the younger Gwaramid branch in Klarjeti and Javaketi. However, the direct Persian control brought about heavy taxation and an energetic promotion of Zoroastrianism in a largely Christian country. Therefore, when the Eastern Roman Emperor Maurice embarked upon a military campaign against Persia in 582, the Iberian nobles requested that he help restore the monarchy. Maurice did respond, and, in 588, sent his protege, Gwaram of the Gwaramids, as a new ruler to Iberia. However, Gwaram was not crowned as king, but recognized as a presiding prince and bestowed with the Eastern Roman title of Curopolates. The Byzantine-Sassanid Treaty of 591 confirmed this new rearrangement, but left Iberia divided into Roman and Sassanid-dominated parts at the town of Tbilisi. Amskita came to be under Byzantine control. Gwaram's successor, the second presiding prince Stephanite, Stephanos I, reoriented his politics towards Persia in a quest to reunite a divided Iberia, a goal he seems to have accomplished, but this cost him his life when the Byzantine Emperor Heraclius attacked Tbilisi in 626, during the Byzantine-Sasanian War of 602–628. Marking the definite Byzantine predominance in most of Georgia by 627–628 at the expense of the Sassanids until the Muslim conquest of Persia. Piran Gushnasp, Arvan Gushnasp, Vezin Buzmir.